Sport is where passions run really high for a lot of fans. People say and often do things they would never do in ordinary life when they are supporting their favourite football team, or in this case, their favourite Formula 1 team or Formula 1 driver, because Mercedes have received death threats, believe it or not, over what happened in the Qatar Grand Prix. What happened in the Qatar Grand Prix? Not that there is any justification for sending death threats to anybody, especially over something as trivial as Formula 1. We love Formula 1, guys, that's why you're here on the channel, but, you know, there's limits, you know? There's more important things than that. Like I said, they've gone too far when it comes to this. The whole reason behind it is because some people have perceived Kimi Antonelli as just letting Lando Norris by in the closing stages of the Grand Prix, whereas people with two eyes and more than two brain cells just recognise that he made a mistake. However, someone who doesn't fall into that category of someone with two eyes and two brain cells, quite literally in the former case, that wasn't intentional, by the way, is Dr. Helmut Marko, who, of course, he basically said in the aftermath of this race, quote, Antonelli waved him past, him being Lando Norris, let him by. It was so obvious. It wasn't, Marko. It wasn't. He just made a mistake. He was under pressure. He's an inexperienced driver, and, you know, they make mistakes. A lot of people were making mistakes through the Grand Prix, Lando Norris included. Did he do it deliberately? Did he run off the track deliberately to compromise his own race and help Max Verstappen out in the championship? Oh, he might have done, you know. He might have done. But yeah, like I said, the important thing here is the death threats. Let's go over this, guys, because this is just absolutely sickening. I was planning on covering the Marko story, but then this comes up on F1Chronicle.com, and I'm like, yeah, I need to incorporate this into the video because this is just not on at all. Let's have a look. Mercedes will present a collection of social media abuse and messages directed at Kimi Antonelli to the FIA after the rookie received a wave of online attacks following the Qatar Grand Prix. Antonelli came under scrutiny after a penultimate lap mistake allowed Lando Norris to pass him for fourth. The move gave Norris 2 extra points and increased his championship lead over Max Verstappen to 12 heading into the Abu Dhabi finale this weekend. Soon after the race, Antonelli changed his profile picture to a black image. His recent Instagram post has drawn strong support from his fans, but it has also attracted harsh criticism. According to The Telegraph, some of the messages escalated into death threats. Mercedes is treating the matter with full seriousness and intends to show the abusive comments to the FIA to review. The situation was further inflamed when Red Bull advisor Dr. Helmut Marko claimed that Antonelli had intentionally allowed Norris through. Mercedes team principal Wolff firmly rejected that suggestion, calling the stance brainless. It is. Why would he do it? It's like those people who think that Timo Glock moved to one side during the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2008, you know, the famous, is that Glock? Oh, it is, oh my goodness me, that incident, right? There are genuinely some people out there like, oh, he was just helping Hamilton out, even though they didn't really get on with one another, they didn't really like each other. I think they actually did a video not too long ago, but that was a good decade and a half after the fact. The team now hopes governing body involvement will address the growing issue of abuse aimed at drivers online. So yeah, absolute nonsense from Helmut Marko. Absolute ridiculous things to go and suggest that he moved out of the way deliberately. He didn't. Why would he do that? Oh, you know, Mercedes, they supply McLaren with engines. Maybe they're trying to help him out. No, Mercedes are trying to get second in the Constructors' Championship, and every point that they get is absolutely crucial. He's human. He makes mistakes. They all do. Every driver does, even Max Verstappen. I know it might be hard to believe, but the guy does make mistakes sometimes. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. So, yeah, I mean, the death threats online, I mean, there are so many losers online. There really are. Like, I mean, if you're going out and you're abusing a 19-year-old, he's 19 years of age, by the way. He's 19, right? And you're going out and abusing someone online, a boy basically at that point, barely a man, just for driving a car, doing something that most of us would absolutely dream of doing. It's jealousy, it's bitterness, and it's pathetic, and it has to stop. Will it stop? No, because there's always going to be losers online. Hopefully, there is going to be something off the back of this, and these people face some kind of punishment for it, because you can't go doing that. You can't. It's just so harmful. Again, some people just love to just hate. Some people love to hate. That's what I've learned in my life so far. There are definitely some people, doesn't matter what you do, they will hate on you. I've got them in my comment section, you know. I know them by name almost at this point. I see them quite regularly because they're obsessed with me. You know, it's just pathetic. But at the end of the day, you just brush it off. Don't care about it. Just don't respond to them. They're idiots. So, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. hopefully we bring you some news that's not quite in this vein going forwards. But any kind of updates about this case, I will of course bring you here on the channel.